I'm nervous. Okay.
Dodge spray, backcomb, keratin, herringbone, scrunch, dry, faux hog, quiff, waft, don't go bald. Here's the deal.
Welcome to Here's the Deal Pod, where we talk about hair and just about everything else. We hope you guys are doing great. How are we feeling in the pod studio, aka my bedroom?
I'm feeling lit.
Shelby, nervous?
Feeling spooky.
Ooh.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Spooky pooky.
I am a little nervous.
Ooh, she's shaking.
Speaking of spooky,
Nah, I did it on purpose. I'm not shaking.
why is the new Haunted Mansion coming out in the middle of July?
Okay, no.
Wait.
Why are they making a new Haunted Mansion? The original was just fine.
The
There's
original
no
was
reason.
wonderful.
Why is everybody repeating stuff? Like,
No,
why
I
are
feel
we
like-
making
I feel like
another
people are running
Beetlejuice?
out
You
of
know why?
ideas because everything's a remake.
It's because
Everything,
of
and it's annoying.
the writer's strike.
You think so?
Well, not in the
yeah.
beginning, but also people are just dumb and don't have their own brains. But now,
I don't know
yes,
why I'm
I
wearing
do
these.
think it's because of the writer's strike that we're
I
getting.
guess that does make sense. Honestly. Should we get a Patreon?
No, I
one
feel like
would pay
it's so
for it.
pretentious to make people
I
pay
kind
for
of
your
do too.
Yeah, I agree.
I kind of do too.
I don't, and they're like, we have a special story for our Patreon listeners, and I'm like, well, then fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, I've never
Like,
paid for a Patreon because I'm like,
No,
really?
I'm not gonna give somebody my
I paid one
hard-earned
time
money for
one
nothing.
person.
You did?
Yeah.
I've thought about it for the Basement Yard podcast because those bitches are funny,
I'm like,
but
if you're
not
like,
that funny.
if you're literally reading stories
Sorry.
on Reddit that I can
I'll hold
read
it.
myself, like, I'm not gonna pay you money to go read a story on Am I the Asshole Reddit
Yeah.
that I can just go find.
ever
sorry.
since, sorry, this is so off topic, but ever since I've gotten contacts, I can tell when people are wearing contacts. That's
Yeah,
so
I know.
crazy.
Yeah, you can
Isn't
see
it
the
cool?
blue ring on the outside.
Yeah.
I love it when you watch movies and you're like, I can see their contact.
That's
my
so
favorite.
funny.
Oh,
Or like
that's
shows.
crazy.
Yeah.
That is.
That's a pretty fun one.
That's
I paid for a
amazing.
Patreon one time, and it was for PewDiePie, and it was so that I can watch his live streams.
Oh wow.
But I deleted it after
See,
a month.
That's-
Maybe 3
I didn't know
months.
they did live streams.
Maybe
I always
6
just
months.
go. Anybody I watch that live streams always does it on Twitch, which is free.
Yeah.
So,
You can also pay for people's Twitch stuff too, apparently.
well, thank God the people I like to watch don't make me
Yeah.
pay because I wouldn't be doing that. I'd just be waiting for somebody to like record it and put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So,
The only time I feel like sending YouTubers money is acceptable is when they drop merch that
Right,
you really
I will
want.
buy merch.
That's fair. But
Mhm,
you're
but that's
giving me
it.
something.
yeah.
You're not just giving
No,
me your
exactly. Like
voice.
this is a. Like I like your
Yeah.
content, but I'm not going that far out of my way to like listen to
Absolutely
it or
not.
watch it. This is a leisurely thing for me.
Yes.
Like it's entertainment.
Like I
know?
do this while I'm cleaning.
and like
my
you're
house.
making money anyway. Like if you're popular enough to be that good where people are paying
You're
you're already
monetized.
making money.
Yeah, you're making money from YouTube.
Wow.
So no,
yeah.
absolutely not. We're not making it.
Also, we're almost at 100 subscribers, which I know isn't a lot, but for us, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
that is a lot. I
That is
didn't
a
know
lot.
that.
Yeah, I think we're like 96.
100 people are subscribed to watch us.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's really cool. So thank you. This has been like a really cool like little passion project. So like it's been really fun. And
Speaking of passions,
Passion fruit.
there was also a person who had a huge passion in life, and her name was Patrice.
wow, I liked that. All right, tell us about Patrice.
Okay. I think you're gonna have to hold this. I'm so nervous. I don't know why. Her name was Patrice Andres, and she was 38 years old and lived in Cumming, Georgia. She loved to. Oh my gosh, I can't.
You don't
I'm so
have to
sorry.
read it word for word.
I feel like I'm back in high school, like having to read my story out loud, and I'm really anxious and nervous.
Aw.
You can do it.
I should have just let you do
You
it.
can do it.
Okay. So owning a hair salon was like her greatest dream. It was her passion. It's what she always wanted. Even her husband like helped her remodel it and get it like just right out. You can even like see the photos like on the actual website or like the website and all the different articles of like the actual salon. And she really took her time and really cared about this place. So to the public, she was like a businesswoman just like us. Her whole dream was to make a name for herself, and she was owning her salon for 8 years. And it was always incoming.
What was it called? Do you know?
Yeah, it was actually, it was named Tambers Trim and Tan.
That's
So cute. So you could
That
get
is so
tan
cute.
and you could get your hair trimmed. I was
not
like,
allowed
that's
to tan
Victoria's
right
like
now.
literally favorite place.
That is so cute.
Yeah,
is
so she,
adorable.
and the sad thing is she also took like really And every single thing that I read, that she was very prideful about her business, and she loved to make people feel beautiful, and that was like her greatest dream. So really sad. But on April 15th, 2004, it was just a seemingly normal day. That morning, she dropped off her son at high school, and unfortunately, they kind of got into a fight because they were running late. Pistol wanted to go and see his girlfriend, and
her son?
His name is
Yeah.
Pistol?
yeah, I'm telling the story wrong. I'm sorry.
You're not telling the story wrong at all.
No,
Okay.
I'm just shocked.
We're just asking questions.
I mean, she sounds like a lovely
Pistol.
lady, but that is
Pistol's
a name.
Pistol's a name.
That is
Yeah.
a name.
I know. I thought that too. I was like, Patrice Pistol.
Patricia! Sorry, I had to.
No. I wish her name was Patricia a little bit, but Patrice is fine. But yeah, so it was just like a normal day. She was taking her son off to high school. They were like getting in a fight, so you can imagine they're like getting their seatbelts on, they're rushing, they're trying to get there, and the whole time he's mad because he wanted to get to school early because he wanted to be able to see his girlfriend. But
Horn
still,
dog.
no matter what,
Sorry.
she still said that she loved him like every other day.
Aw.
I think it's really sweet that they made sure to put that in there. So one thing about this one is they had multiple different articles that I was reading through, but there was one article that I really appreciated, and I knew we would too, because it puts it in a stylist perspective.
Oh,
so since we
okay.
all like, true crime, and then we're all about like our organizing of our schedules,
Right.
they even organized her schedule so we can know exactly what it was like when she like walked up into the salon.
Oh my
Wow.
I know.
gosh.
Yeah. So
How did
She
you
was
find
the-
this?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
So, Patrice obviously is the head of her salon, so she was the first one to get there. Based on her appointment book, she had her first client at 9 a.m.
Okay.
The client
early bird.
arrived at 10 minutes early.
Oh, well, great client.
Yeah, and she recalls that she seemed pretty distracted and not as attentive as usual. So
Patrice
instantly,
did?
yeah, Patrice did. So that instantly tells me, I'm like, if I'm distracted with my clients, like something's going on.
Yeah.
And a lot of my clients can always tell. I don't know about y'all's. They always can know when something's going on. So she had her first client, and then her next client came in. The first appointment finished at 11:05 a.m., which is interesting. So it was about a 2-hour appointment, I
They
guess.
do like cut and color.
I'm assuming that they did.
Nice.
Then her next appointment started at 11:10. Interesting time. And
Yeah,
then
those
that
are
one was
interesting
over at 11:27. So only a 17-minute appointment?
Bang trip?
Maybe.
Blow dry?
Maybe a blow dry. I also thought, like, I do my men's cuts really fast, so I imagine
It
a
could
men's
be
cut
cut.
during that time. While that client was leaving the salon, he got a phone call, so it was a guy. And it was verified by the police phone records, which I think is really cool that they pulled in all of their clients and then like asked all of them
That's
what they were going
crazy.
through, what they were
Like, just
talking about.
imagine being a part of, like, a stylist day, and, like, something happens, and you get a call, and you're like, hey,
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to... Like, I need
I
all
know.
all the stuff that you did that day, and, like, because you could be, like, a suspect.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, what time, who did you talk to? All this stuff. I'm like, oh my God. I would probably be
my
fine because I
God.
keep everything on my phone.
Yeah, you too.
I would
You're
be
so
totally
right.
fine.
They'd look at it and they'd be like, she's good. She got too much
Yeah. They're
going on.
like, 256 text messages? Yeah.
I think
she's
all
good.
they need is my planner.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, she was doing laundry.
Imagine it says 11:06, kill my hairstylist.
'Cause you would have to write it
That
down.
Done
I
by
would.
11:17.
Oh my god.
It has to be an exactly 11-minute murder.
That is so funny.
Okay, so then, as her normal day, she's a client. Another client called at 11:35 to change their appointment, and then the client recalled that Patrice was really short on the phone, and the call lasted approximately 2 minutes. Which to me, I can't even imagine a call being rescheduled in 2 minutes. Like she must have really had something going on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, normally it's like 5-6 minutes because you're going through all of your, and she's
You
the head
gotta
of the
find a place
salon.
for 'em,
She has to be really busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so then the client recalled, yeah. Sorry. Okay, so per phone record, the next call at the salon came in at 11:50 a.m., but the call was never answered, which was very unusual for Patrice. So I'm assuming she's like doing hair,
And that's not that
and then she's
far
always answering the phone.
away from, like, the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's what's the cool thing about it is that there's only a little window of time where the murder happened and they don't know what happened. Like, it's pretty interesting. Okay, so the problem with this story is it's kind of all over the place, right? So you have the problem with this story. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
I told LaShant this story and it did so good, and I knew I shouldn't have read it to him because I know when I do it one time good, I'm going to do it bad the second time. Okay. Start again. You can edit again. Okay. The problem with this story is that it's kind of all over the place. So we have one witness that said that they saw a black SUV and a white cargo van parked in front of Patrice's salon, completely blocking the front door. And then another witness informed the police that they were driving past the salon and they could see a man walking around to the driver's side of the cargo van. So they don't even bring up the black SUV. So there's a cargo van and there's a black SUV, but only 2 people have noticed the white cargo van.
Interesting.
But when I went through all the articles, they don't talk about what car she had, like what her car looked like, if it was the black SUV or if it was the cargo van, nothing like that. And my question too is like, why didn't they ask the witness or the clients, what car did you see up front?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And the interesting thing, and also what makes it kind of strange is that they were on a very busy street, like where the salon is. So it's like very fast paced.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's not really much you can see from that. So, and then the weird thing is one of the one who was saying that they saw a man walking by the cargo van, he actually took away his story and said, never mind, that didn't happen. What? Yeah.
That's
weird. That's
I
suspicious.
know.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Say what you mean.
Exactly. Like, why would you, who would just call, say something, they're like, oh, wait, actually, no, that didn't happen. Unless somebody,
maybe
forced them not
sometimes
to.
people do second guess themselves, but that's such a small detail. Like, imagine going home and being like, did I actually see that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think about it too, and I have a horrible memory.
Yeah.
So, like, someone could ask me and be like, what color was that car? And I could be like, purple. And then the next day I could be like, fuck, I think it was blue.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
I feel like you wouldn't
But that's a
go
smaller
and
detail.
volunteer information.
Oh, yeah.
that you
No,
don't
if
fully
I didn't know
remember.
it, I would be like, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah.
That's weird.
True. So with all those witnesses, nobody else came in with anything. It's like all of a sudden they like were throwing out a bunch of things that they saw, and then they just like half the people basically took away the information, which is weird. So Patrice missed her next appointment, which is at 11:30, and by noon a client called the police because the salon was empty. And of course that's weird. Why would you have an appointment? Your stylist isn't there. So the coworkers finally decided to report her missing, and they were saying that it was very highly out of character, which I don't know why they would wait so long.
Honestly, good on that client for calling the police, because most clients would just be like, this is weird, and
Yeah.
then go home.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I read it, I was like mad. I'm like, 15 minutes I would have been like, what the
Yeah,
heck's
but if
going
you
on?
know your stylist,
Yeah.
this has never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm calling the cops. Like, are you alive?
No, I mean, I'm like 15 minutes. I'd be like, if nobody's
Yeah.
there, I'm like, I'm calling the cops right then.
Yeah.
I'm walking in.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're probably like, oh, she's probably eating lunch.
Right.
But
I
wouldn't
mean,
you go to the
like,
break
give it
room?
reasonable time.
I imagine her salon kind of like my mom's old salon where she was at, and it was like chairs and then a back break room and then one bathroom, and it was like really small, and that's how it kind of seemed like. And I can't imagine you walk in there and you notice that nobody's there.
And you're just like, oh, I'll just wait.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then
like I would at least be like being like, hello, like
yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I guess
like
a coworker
walking around trying to see like what's going
Right.
on.
And then,
Oh,
like, the
that's so
coworker
scary.
is the one that, like, said that she was missing. So, how did the coworker not see
Right.
anything?
Well, like, if this was... Okay, I'm confused. So the salon was empty.
The salon was empty.
So then how would the coworker know any of this stuff? Were they
That's what
calling
I was wondering.
the coworker?
Maybe the client called the coworker and was like, hey, do you know anything about
Or
this?
maybe she came in later. I don't know. I'm confused.
Yeah, that's what's kind of interesting about the story is that, it's close to home, like, where we all live.
Yeah.
And then also...
It's kind of a hot mess express.
It's a hot mess.
Yeah.
Like, and poor Patrice, because it sounds like a lot of it is that people just can't keep their time straight. Like, they just
Yeah.
don't, they need a Victoria in their life.
Bro.
Literally.
Everything is planned.
So, finally, when they called the police and were saying that she was missing, the police arrived on the scene and they did a whole, like, search. Upon arrival, they noticed that the cash register was left open and that money was missing. There was no forced entry and there was no blood found. but her purse and her keys were still there.
Was there money in her purse?
I didn't see anything about that,
Okay.
but they did notice that her lunch was in the microwave, finally heated up. Yeah.
Oh, she was just
I feel like
trying
that hurt me
Yeah.
when I was like, oh no, she's like at that lunch point,
And she was
and
like
that
about
happened.
to find relief, and
I
then
know.
something happened to her.
Yeah.
Well, everybody knows a stylist, like, getting to eat lunch is, like,
A miracle?
not promised.
Yeah.
And so when you get to eat lunch, and then what? You just get murdered?
Literally.
That's not cool.
Literally.
Wow.
Yep. So these are some little side notes that we found out about the family. Like after she had disappeared, Rob is the name of her husband. She had been married once before in the past, and this was her second husband. Rob seemed to be very devastated, and he said that they were very much in love, and that Patrice loved him with all of her heart, which I think is interesting that he said it like that.
Yeah, why didn't he say he loved her with all
Yeah.
of his heart?
Yeah. Well, he said that she was the love of his life, and then that she loved him with all of her heart, which I feel like is him trying to tell himself that. Because when the family was talking about things, Patrice's son, family, and friends completely disagreed, saying that they claimed that he was a jealous, possessive, and very controlling man, and that Patrice was getting ready to divorce him.
Rob.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Rob.
Rob.
Yeah. I know. So,
Yikes.
So after they noticed that Patrice was, she definitely was gone. No way. I mean, her lunch was there. I mean, imagining literally the cops walking in there and beep, beep, beep. Her lunch had just gone off. Her purse and keys are still there. The register's open.
Can I
no
just
money's in it.
say that's giving staged robbery? Because, like, her purse is still there, car is still there, like, valuables are still there, but then the register is empty.
Right.
And it just feels like when...
They were trying to make it look like a robbery instead
Yes,
of a murder.
a robbery that went wrong. Like,
Yeah.
it could have been a murder, too, but, like, somebody probably killed her for personal reasons and then tried to make it look like
Not
some...
personal.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it's feeling like.
Yeah. Well, I also, some other things that are weird is that they said that there was no forced entry. Duh. It's an open salon. You can walk in it.
There is no forced
I'm sure they had a
entry.
sign that said walk-ins welcome. Like, they could just come in.
You know, vampires could come in, too, then.
There you go.
Anyway.
There you go. They don't have to ask for approval. But also, if her lunch was there and the way that the schedule was out, I know I probably explained it a little weird, but I mean, it sounded like she had it precise to the minute
Yeah.
of when her clients are.
Patricia knows what she's doing.
The only person that would possibly know that, I mean, I don't know about you or any of you guys, if there's anybody that you tell your schedule to, but when I tell my schedule and how my day is, I tell my husband.
Yeah, no, I send screenshots of my schedule to my boyfriend. So
Yeah.
I'm like, this is my free time today.
Exactly. So I don't know how he suddenly didn't know, because when they, sorry, let me get to the part. I'm getting too fast. But yeah, I mean, from what he says, he has no idea anything about her schedule, which makes no sense. I don't believe that at all. So yes, as soon as they knew for sure that she had disappeared from the salon, the search began. Through hopes and prayers, Patrice would return, but with all the disappearance, they thought that it was just a sign of abduction. So they were waiting to possibly get a call from somebody, stating that, basically, hey, give me money, and here's my, and then you can have it. So police, family, and friends, they combed through the area for weeks. Investigators, they create a timeline based on Patrice's customers that day, her cell phone calls, and identify a narrow of 13-minute window of the time when the abduction took place, which makes me so anxious because that's like a processing for a glaze time. Like, that's just how I think of it.
Literally, the person had to have known that no one was going to be in the salon because she had been done with her client. And
Yeah.
was coming in. Like, that, they had to know.
Yeah.
Because that's so precise.
Yes.
Like, 13 minutes is nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing.
I could totally see her being like, hey, I got 13 minutes. If you want to come by, we can talk real quick. Or and also we have to remember this was in 2004.
Oh, wow.
So totally different times.
Yeah.
Now you could FaceTime or call, but back then, I mean, I know they had cell phones, but they weren't
Well, what if she was like, hey, do you want to come by? I have 13 minutes. We can eat lunch together.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so
That's
weird.
Freaky.
Yep. Okay, so Patrice's husband, Rob, he had an airtight alibi that Rob interviewed with the police, saying that her salon was only 45 minutes away from Woodstock, where he got gas. And also told the police that he had a turnstile, which I guess is like when they like clock in and out, showing that he recorded that he was still at work.
Yeah, but did he hire a hitman?
I thought either hitman or he had somebody clock him in. It was like, hey, dude, I forgot to clock in. I'm running late. Can you just clock me in real quick?
Yeah.
Most definitely you could do that.
Or he could have clocked in earlier that day and left and not clocked out.
But then his gas... He got gas in Woodstock, 45 minutes away.
And he's like 45 minutes away from the salon. So he wouldn't have done it during work.
Right.
Hitman.
I definitely think he came in late or whatever, had a buddy. And that buddy's the one who knows the truth. So even though they already know about that he had his time recorded, they're still suspicious since the only person that could know her schedule and know that she would be alone during that 13 minutes of time was definitely Rob. Some people believe that Rob kidnapped and killed his wife because their marriage was unraveling. But Rob denies it, saying that they were very happy and that Patrice was totally devoted to him and that she was the love of his life.
Talk about delusional.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She was trying to leave his ass.
Exactly. So knowing all of that, knowing all the trauma, knowing all of the drama with their relationship, and then she goes missing.
And then him just saying like, oh no, we are so in love.
Right. And then you see
like,
other
that just
cases.
Makes you so suspicious.
Yes.
Right, but you see other cases and you're thinking, okay, yeah, they're gonna definitely like arrest the husband and do like, you know, whatever it is. What's the
like
thing?
a polygraph?
A polygraph or whatever. But no, the case goes cold. For about almost 2 years, December 6, 2005, unfortunately, Patrice's skeletal remains were found behind a church in Dawson Forest.
Wow.
Where's that?
That was about 11 miles from her salon in Georgia. Yep. So,
God.
unfortunately,
2
with...
years?
Yeah.
And they found her?
The whole time. And yeah, she was only 11 miles from her salon.
That's so sad.
I don't understand. Like, that's 11 miles.
Well, they probably didn't think to check
What did they
behind
do,
a
20?
church.
What? Yeah, I guess so.
And you gotta think about, like, there's so many places to
Yeah.
search. So many places.
They were probably
to search.
looking like all the woods surrounding, you know, dumpsters. Like, who would think, let me go check behind this church?
True.
You know?
True. But also, like, whoever murdered her, that's super messed up.
That
That's
is
behind a
so
church.
messed up.
Yeah, for sure. Sadly, I mean, I wasn't surprised when I read this. They made it like a big thing, but Rob and like his stepson, their relationship totally disintegrated and they still do not talk ever since, which I think that Pistol knows that he definitely murdered his mom for sure. But this is where it gets a little interesting and kind of switches up a little bit. So because of the area of where she was located with her death and where it was I guess I'm assuming alongside like a highway, a serial killer named Gary Hilton, and if you look him up, he's pretty interesting, used to dispose his women hikers' bodies
I hate that.
in that area.
I didn't know that there was a serial killer.
There's actually multiple. in
Well,
Georgia.
I'm
Don't
sure
tell
there's
me.
plenty in Georgia, but like I don't like accepting that and realizing that in my brain.
Yeah.
So scary.
So Hilton became the prime suspect, but evidence didn't connect him to Patrice's murder, even though they dumped bodies around the same exact place.
Well, I mean, she's not his profile. He goes for hikers.
Yeah, I guess so.
So
I mean, there was like, I think 2 cases that were close to it, but it was like young women, which 38 is still, I mean, that's
30
young.
is still young.
Yeah.
I mean, did they call it a geriatric pregnancy? Yeah, but we're still young.
Yeah, they're still young. Yeah, exactly. So after that, they dropped that. They're like, yeah, it's probably not him. But then months later, again, after Patrice's disappearance, a serial killer named Jeremy Jones. Now, I think that one sounds really familiar to me. I don't know about you.
So familiar.
Yeah. He actually confessed to abducting and killing Patrice and knew details that only the kidnapper could know, which I find very fascinating.
Interesting.
But after that, again, with all these people saying things and then taken away, he takes away and says, nope, that didn't happen. I just totally made that up.
But serial
How could
killers...
you not? You gotta do something about that. You just like there should be fucking like a penalty for confessing to a crime if you did not commit it, especially of that
I
regard.
feel like there is, yeah. I don't know.
I
But
don't know. Did he get in
serial
trouble?
killers, they do that often.
They
Because
do.
they like to have
That rap.
Mhm.
They like the rap. They also like to fuck with the police.
Right.
Like, they're just assholes.
They
So-
also, like, they just want the attention, too.
Yeah.
Because, like, they kill people for
They think
attention.
it's exciting.
Yeah.
They think people
Yeah.
are impressed by that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so after that, they cross him off. But there is still one detective to this day that is convinced that Jones is the one who abducted and murdered Patrice.
Wow.
Which, I don't know. I feel like that's wishful thinking. 13
Yeah.
minutes. How did he know? I mean, serial killers will watch after their prey, I guess you
Yeah.
would say. But I don't know. I think it was the husband
Well,
for sure.
do we know Jones's profile of women that he would kill?
They didn't. They just said it was women.
Boo.
Yeah, I thought it would be cool if we did talk about the serial killers, which would be pretty
That would be
interesting.
cool.
But yeah, so after that, the case is still cold. And actually, still to this day, people are asking anybody to come forward.
No, they haven't solved. It's unsolved.
It's still unsolved.
That's so
It's still cold.
upsetting.
So unsolved.
But the interesting thing is that the police are still asking people to come forward if they recognize the wedding ring, because it still hasn't been recovered.
Her wedding ring? The husband did it.
Rob did this.
Rob did that because
Rob
you know he probably pawned that shit off.
It's personal. Why didn't they steal her wallet from the purse? Why didn't they steal anything else?
They left the
But then they
purse,
took
they left the
her
keys,
wedding
they
ring?
left her car, too. I don't know. Interesting.
Rob did it.
Rob did it.
In my humble opinion, Rob
Rob,
did it.
Of
if
course
you're
he
out
did.
there, if I
We
see
know
you
what
at
you
the
did.
grocery store, I know you did it.
We know what you did.
Rob.
He probably moved away.
He better have, because I don't want to see that man in public.
But yeah,
Like,
I
we
hope that
don't
they
know.
recover
It's
it.
like, we're like, Rob, you better hope you don't run across me.
But yeah, that's the end of it.
That's crazy.
That was good.
Yeah.
I have chills.
That was a good
I know,
one.
that's why I was upset about
I
saying them all,
hate
because it
when
was
they're
good.
close to home, though, because that's
I know.
so
I
sad.
hate
I'm
when
not
they're
gonna
close to home,
sleep
and they were
tonight.
unsolved. But I was like, I have to do it. It's
No, that was
incoming.
good.
Thank God I never go to Cumming.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Sorry, I buffered. Thanks for watching Here's the Deal Pod. We appreciate you guys for watching and listening. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Here's the Deal Pod, and connect with us on our personal pages. One thing I did think about was, if you do watch or listen to us, just shamelessly asking, if you watch us on YouTube, please like, please share, please subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we would love if you would give us a rating, because that'll totally help us get more out there so that other people can see us. So if
Turn
you
on
would like to give us a good
notifications.
rating and turn on your notifications, that would be great. But thank you for watching. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next Friday at 6. Mwah.
Here's the deal.